South Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
All right, folks, we're going to kind of transition talking about some severe weather. We actually have a tornado warning that is in effect for Fayette County. One lone discrete supercell that has developed here and has rapidly kind of intensified. So let's kind of take a look at it just to get your bearings straight. Champaign up here, here's Effingham, and here's that tornado warned cell. And we're going to zoom in on this thing all the way down. There it is. And boy, you don't usually like to see these when they're kind of on their own like that, because a lot of times they can, you know, really tap into all of the resources and the ingredients that can get these storms to go. So this is going to be south of Vandalia right now, okay? Kaskaskia, that area there, that storm is definitely starting to ramp up a little bit more in terms of some of the rotation, and we're seeing that on radar as well. So there's this area of rotation that we've got, and so the Weather Service has issued that tornado warning down there. It is moving off to the north and to the east. But I tell you, if there's another great way to show you things, it's by showing it to you with boots on the ground, and that's where meteorologist Jacob Dickey is positioned primely there to the north and east of that cell. It's right behind you. We can see it. You've got a great vantage point there, and you're saying things are starting to ramp up a little bit. Well, we will, and we'll come back to Jacob here in a second as we work out his audio there, but here behind him, and so I'll let him kind of go adjust that, but that's the view of that tornado warned storm. There's that lowering that is there, and you can see that's the storm we're watching. He's got that great vantage point, so I'm hoping maybe we can get his audio back here, because boy, that thing is really starting to kick up. So here's what I'm concerned about is if this continues off to the north and east. You're talking about maybe St. Elmo. You're talking about over there towards Altamont. Those areas there could be impacted as the storm continues to really kind of tap into some of the ingredients that are in place down that way. So we're going to be watching that very carefully. All right, I'm going to try to go back to Jacob now, if we've got his audio back there. Okay, so Jacob, sorry about that. We got you now. That storm is right behind you. Look at that towering cumulonimbus cloud that's right there. Impressive view. Talk about what you're seeing, and this is rapidly happening as we speak.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. I'm going to give you reference where I am here right now, and I am located here off to the south and west of St. Peter. St. Peter, the town, is about a half mile there. Earlier, we heard the tornado sirens going off, the outdoor warning sirens. They've since turned them off. Some counties run them different ways. They either keep them going the entire warning, or they run them every periodically 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever the case may be. Let's talk about this storm, and this is a great vantage point. You're looking at the updraft of this storm here, and very crisp and clear. Right here is where the base of the storm is. This is the slanted updraft that is rotating, and I notice right in this area more lightning picking up here. As we look here down to the sides, you see on this edge is the sides of that wall cloud. That wall cloud sits below it. Very evident that there is motion under there. We're a little far away from seeing it rotating from this vantage point, but it is moving towards us here. Move that a little bit, more of what the storm is doing. It's a healthy supercell thunderstorm, has a lot to work with here, and as we pan this up a little bit more, I want to show you kind of what I'm seeing up in front of me here. You can see the mammatus clouds on the base of the anvil of this supercell thunderstorm, and then plenty of lightning as well that's being picked up in there. So
Jacob, zoom into that bottom part. Zoom into that bottom part of the storm there. Kind of zoom in there to that kind of base, clear towards the ground, and kind of talk about how that is kind of like where you're going to be watching things for that wall cloud there. That's that lowering that you're looking at.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. We're kind of going to keep a close eye on the base of the storm here. It's located north of Patoka, right on 52, in fact. And so we're still a good 10, 15 miles ahead of it. And the vantage point that we have is excellent to see if anything drops. You kind of see how it looks like an anvil shape there sticking out beneath. That anvil is the wall cloud that sticks out beneath the updraft there. And it's a crisp updraft. We can see those towers really crisp on that left edge, a sign that a very strong storm. One thing that I noticed is as I was driving south here from the St. Elmo area is I actually passed through the warm front, Kevin. So this storm is going to ride that warm front, and so that's something that we're going to keep a close eye on. Let me zoom in a little bit more for you here. We'll see if we can make out any of that rotation. You know, there may be something trying there, Kevin. It's hard for me to see. It might be hard for you too, but as the sun goes back behind it, we might get a little bit better vantage, and we're going to get a much better view here as it continues to move in our general direction. A heads up for Effingham County. Just thinking, you know, we're about 30 minutes away from it, maybe moving into the southern part of the county, their southwestern part. So that's something that we will keep a close eye on. Kevin, I'll send it back to you. Okay, you got the great vantage point there again. It is moving to the northeast, so just be on the lookout there into Effingham County over the next half hour to an hour. We'll continue our coverage here, and we'll have much more coming up after the break. All right, so we're back here. We're tracking this tornado warning cell that is coming through portions of Fayette County. I put a little bit of a what we call the storm path predictor here, showing the areas that could be eventually impacted. And down the line, you're looking at Edgewood potentially, you know, at 7:13, Watson at 7:18 p.m. And yes, this is heading in the general direction there of portions of Effingham County. So we're going to be carefully monitoring this as this tornado warned storm continues to move off to the north and east. Just to give you, again, a little bit more of kind of your bearings so you kind of know where you're at, because I know we got people watching from all over. This is not even close to Champaign. There's nothing in Champaign or Decatur or Danville or Charleston. The focus is well to our south. It's our furthest kind of southern area that we cover here down to Fayette and Effingham County. But this is a very healthy storm, and it's a kind of individual storm there right over Kaskaskia, but there's rotation on it, and that tornado warning continues. We'll see what they do, but Altamont, you need to be on the lookout here kind of down the line in parts of Effingham County. I'll tell you what, we've got Jacob there, and Jacob, you got maybe 15 seconds here. Kind of tell us what you're seeing down that way with that storm. It's right behind you. Just give us a little 15-second synopsis. Yeah, so right here, Kevin, is where I think that rotation strengthening a little bit more on that right side. The other thing, I'm seeing more lighting in the updraft. Usually that's a sign that it's strengthening, so we see that. Also, probably going to be some hail just to the north side of this area of rotation as well. And I do see some strengthening rotation right now, actually, Kevin. I think I've got a funnel cloud developing actually at this moment. Let's stay with us. We may have a tornado coming down in just a second here. Let me start to zoom in. I can see that rotation with my naked eye here, so I'm going to zoom in that spot, Kevin. Right there, that is some strong rotation showing up with this storm here, and unfortunately I got those trees in the way, but let's keep, can we stay with this, Kevin, by chance? Can you see that rotation yourself? Yeah, Jacob, we'll stay with you there. Just keep it on that shot right there. We'll stay with this here. We're going to forego the rest of the newscast and even our commercials here. So we're going to stay with it because we got a pretty good view of that storm. And you're looking at it, and you can kind of see that rotation there with that. Notice the clouds kind of moving. It's kind of tough to see, but yeah, it's trying real hard. What's your vantage point there? I know you're kind of, those trees are going to kind of cause you a little bit of an issue there. Yeah, I'm going to move here for a second, Kevin. Give me a minute, because I really think this is about to drop a tornado behind those trees. So I can hop a mile south real fast, and why don't you come back to me? But very strong rotation showing up in that spot there. And in fact, I think, looking out here, definite funnel cloud in progress now with this strong rotation. This is right on the warm front, which is why we are seeing it look favorable for tornado development, and I think we're very close to having that here. I'll come back to me in about 30 seconds, Kevin, as I reposition. Yep, he's going to reposition there, but just to kind of give you an idea, so Jacob is actually kind of over here near St. James, and so he's looking into the storm. So the storm is moving to the north and east, and his position is here, and he's dropping it just a little bit more south so we can kind of look into this part of the storm. Again, this is going to be coming across I-70 here before too. This thing is going to come up here towards St. Elmo if it would kind of stay on its same path. And so now we're talking getting there into, you know, close to Effingham County. So our Effingham County friends, you need to be paying attention. You know, it's not on top of you now, but this is coming your direction. If this thing holds together, this is the strongest it has been this entire time, and it is definitely ramping up in terms of its rotation. Let's go out to Jacob here. I think he's back there with the view that we've got. You know, Jacob, you've positioned a little bit more to the south. What are you seeing there? Yeah, still some intense rotation with this storm right now, Kevin. Beneath that updraft, you can see that separate section that's hanging down on the left edge of that. I think we're looking at it here is very close to coming down. I just saw a report, the local sheriff, he's over closer to it, got a better vantage point. He says it's trying to touch down, and so it may be coming down before long here. There's lots of motion, tightening up here. I mean, it is tightening up like a tick's backside, and really intense motion at this point, Kevin. This is a dangerous storm, could produce a tornado at any time, and if it is, we're right here to bring you that view. We're going to keep an eye on this and keep watching this for you, Kevin. The updraft, also, lots of lightning on that. I still think it's strengthening. Probably what's happening is on that left side there.
We lost his audio there for a second, so we'll continue to kind of watch him there with that. But here's the thing. This thing is at its peak intensity that I've seen it through this entire duration. So this tornado warning is, in effect, I'm pretty confident that there's probably going to be an additional warning that probably is going to get issued. So again, there's Altamont and there's Effingham, and it's one supercell. We call it a discrete supercell. It's by itself. It can tap into all of that energy, all of the ingredients that are in place here. There's also probably a pretty decent hail core that's in there. See this purple color that we've got here? That's going to be your hail. So there's Vandalia, there's 51, Kaskaskia, and there's St. James over that way. This storm moves to the north and east. You've got some of the rotation there that's kind of on the southern edge of that. And here's I-70. Okay, you've got I-70 right there, and the good news is it's a slow-moving storm. So what I mean by that is it's not going to rapidly kind of, quickly move. You're going to have some time to take shelter if you need to. So we're going to be able to give you those kind of updates on where you should be going. But again, the view out there of that storm that we've got from the StormTracker is showing intense rotation there. You can kind of see it, maybe some of the heavy rain obscuring it a little bit there, but you can see just a little bit of this lowering that's probably taking place. So Jacob is a good distance from the storm. He's probably several miles away from it, but he has a clear path view looking to the kind of south and west of his position. And let's see if we can. I think we got Jacob's audio back here with us. Jacob, what's your location, or kind of tell us what you're seeing?
Yeah, so Kevin, we kind of repositioned south about a half a mile, and I'm not getting as clear of a view at this point, because what I think is happening is there's some sunlight creeping in, that dry air that's wrapping in and was tightening it up. So our visibility, our contrast, not as good, but I know that's where it would be here. And so we may see this storm, it may have tried to. I tell you what, Kevin, the warm front is right here. It is riding that, and so that boundary is giving it some enhanced shear to work with. But it's going to be really hard right now to make it out with perhaps a little bit of that rain and that haze that's pulling on in. But still, I mean, earlier I thought for a second there it was about to put a tornado down, and it still has that chance to do so. Sometimes we see them cycle and weaken and spin up and move down. It may have pulsed down just a smidge, but I don't think this storm is done. I think this is going to be an issue as it moves closer to us here and eventually towards the direction of southern Effingham County. Kevin, back to you.
Okay, so again, just to kind of give people the view of Jacob. So Jacob this is St. Peter. That's over here. He's right here. Okay, he's here, and he's looking west into the storm that's right here. That's moving to the north and east. So he's in that perfect spot or location to have that storm just kind of pass to his west. Because there's a lot of chasers that are right here in what I'd kind of consider the notch of where there might be a tornado in there. So just to kind of widen the view out just a little bit more to give you that view. One cell here, St. Elmo, Altamont, Effingham, up there right along I-70. Rotating part of the storm is going to be right here. Okay, you see where these greens and these reds and almost some pinks are kind of coming together. That is your rotation that we actually have here, and definitely seeing some of that here tonight. With, again, the potential there for a tornado to spin up pretty quick right there in that general spot into portions of Fayette County, and could be going towards Effingham County here soon. I just want to show you the view from Effingham County here, because our camera that we've got in Effingham is going to also kind of depict that large supercell to the south and west. You're going to see it there. It is 7 o'clock, so we've got some daylight left, which is what we want, so we can, if there is something in there, we can see it obviously better during the daytime. It is also moving very, very slowly. It is kind of taking its time moving to the north and east. I want to stress to everybody out there as well that if you're in Champaign, if you're in Decatur and Springfield and Danville, there's not a threat for you right now. It's a very isolated threat right now, but it is impacting our far southern area. So listen, 97% of our viewers not impacted by this, but a few percent of you potentially could be. And then obviously quite a bit more of this gets into Effingham County. So that's why we're kind of concerned about it. It has got really strong rotation on it, that tornadic potential increasing just within the past kind of half an hour or so as it moves to the northeast. So what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of a loop on this. You can kind of see the general movement it's been taking. And we'll throw that on there. So there it goes. And that's a 45-minute loop, so it barely moved over 45 minutes. But this thing's going to ride along I-70, I think. Okay, so moving here to the north and east, where it crosses I-70, it's kind of hard to say at this point. But if it holds together and maintains that level of strength, it will be that concern for western portions of Effingham County here in the next half an hour to an hour or so. So be on guard, be paying attention. Just, you don't have to take shelter yet, obviously, if you're in Effingham County, but you want to be keeping a close eye on things because things could ramp up fairly quickly here tonight. So we're watching that here with us right now. We're going to continue to